a second. Oh, we're live. So when we flow into it, no, don't look off now. So once we flow into it and get into the conversation, it'll work well. But as everyone is coming in, I'm gonna start doing what I do best, which is sharing to my other pages so that it can get absolutely everywhere today. There we go. I got my people already starting to pull in. And then if you have any information, anything additional that you may want to share that I don't say anything, feel free to give us that information any way they can tap in.
Good.
I really do make a good cup of coffee. Like you really do.
Now I'm left out. I should.
Yeah, I really I love coffee, and so I try to take my time in making it. And I don't put sugar in my coffee, and I like a strong dark coffee. That's a dark roast right there.
Yeah, that's really good. Sorry, you missed out.
She missed. I'll make her a cup before she goes. I'll make her a cup. She shouldn't have missed out. You're so funny. I'll make her a cup before you go. Oh, we got people coming in. Hey, Ramonda. Hey, Kirby. Hey, Stassi. Good afternoon. Hey, Stassi, my baby. Hey, Tammy Burris. Good evening. Welcome. Y'all do me a favor. Go start sharing the video now because I want everybody in the world to hear this story, to see my guests, to know more about their organization, and even for perhaps the opportunity and chance for you to get involved, for you to recommend them. So do me a favor and go share right now. That's what I'm doing. I'm sharing to all my pages. Y'all gonna share some? We gonna share. So Miss Carla, when I offered, I was like, "You want coffee?" She's like, "No." And then Rod, her son, was like, "Yeah, I want coffee." And then Miss Carla's like, "That look good." So I have to make her a cup of coffee. And everybody, hey Jamaica, everybody knows how I feel about coffee anyway. So coffee is definitely my love language. Hey YouTube, hey Facebook, welcome. Kirby, I'm calling you this afternoon because I want to check on you and see how you're doing. Hey Courtney Barnes, hey Deshauna, hey Michelle, y'all do me a favor. Share the video. We're going to get started in just a second. I want you to meet my guest, just a minute, Carla and Rod Daniels, and this amazing organization that they represent. And you get involved, you share, you know how I feel about community, you know how I feel about making sure we're tapped into those around us that are doing great things. And they are really, really, really doing something that is changing the lives of, I'm not just going to say women, because it's not just open to women, but to women, to men. And y'all know how I feel about making the difference in the lives of anyone who deserves a second chance. And that's how I see their program. Like it's a fresh start, it's a second chance. It's new beginnings. So we'll get started in just a second. Let me get a few more people to share, and then we're going to talk to them about who they are, about their program, about what they have coming up next, and even about opportunities that are you can be involved in with them. Arkansas Employment Career Center is based out of Arkansas, but can you take the courses outside of Arkansas? I didn't ask y'all. Okay. So you can take the courses outside of Arkansas. So welcome to CUP, Christ Unveiling Purpose. Of course, I'm Lakeisha M. Johnson, AKA LMJ. And you know, Friday afternoons are dedicated to living on purpose. Will somebody put that in the comments today? I want to live on purpose. Or when you share the video, put that down. I want to live on purpose. And I am sitting next to, first of all, two of the most boldest and courageous people I know that are living life on purpose. We're not going to get to hear all their story today because I want you to know more about Arkansas Employment Career Center, but you get a little bit of Carla and I met years ago. I'm going to say when she's not that much older than me, but I am going to say when I was a young pup. And she works with my mother. And there was just always something special about her then. And then our paths would cross again. And I will never forget this. We were on an airplane. I was coming from DC. I think you were coming from DC. And I had not quite been a year out since I had lost my late husband, and she had just lost her husband. And we were sharing just this moment with each other. And then I would see her do something so powerful. I would see her, instead of laying down in her pain, I would see her take this painful moment and turn it into hope, and turn it into victory, and turn it into something bigger for something else. And then her son, and y'all know how I'm about family working together. And I'm very partial to Rod, because when I first taught at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, he was in one of my first intro to social science classes. So to see one of my students doing big things is really, really a big deal. So welcome to Cup, Rod. Welcome to Cup, Carla.
Pleasure.
Let's get started. I can go on about y'all like it's one of those situations where I can go on and on. I see y'all coming, and I want to live on purpose. Y'all make sure y'all share the video. I can go on and on about y'all, but I think I need to start with something that's so important for us to discover. What does it mean for you? And I'll go to you, Carla, first. What does it mean for you to live life on purpose? What does that mean for you?
That means to live the way God has intended you to live.
Mm-hmm.
We each have our own unique identifiers. We each have our own unique. We're special to God, and He knows, because He made us.
Yeah,
And to live on purpose is live with a godly purpose.
That's good. What about you, Ron? Because you're a little bit younger, right?
Sure.
But I know
That is
you
true.
love the Lord.
No,
But what does that mean for you?
I mean, for me, of course, I was raised in church. I mean, with my mom, growing up playing the drums, about 3 or 4 or 5 different churches. But honestly, for me, it's just purpose is just finding what's intended for me.
That's good.
You know what I mean? I think it just kind of sums it up. Not necessarily too much of living outside of my box, my demeanor, and who I am as a person. So just staying true to who I am, pretty much, like I said, just living for what's meant for me.
Yeah, because I think something you both have said is we are all unique.
Absolutely.
God has always created us differently, right? We're all marked for, I don't even say just a particular destination, but we're all marked for certain seasons, right? There are seasons when things will happen in our life that will trigger us into what we were called to do. Some of us get it early, some of us come off. We know we go to school, we know we're getting ready to be doctors. And then some of us, sometimes what happens with us is birth really out of our pain, right? Birth really out of circumstances happen, and then we find ourselves in a position or a place where we like, you know what? I'm not getting ready to lay down. I always say I'm not getting ready to lay down in my pain. I'm getting ready to take this pain or take this stumbling block and turn it into something else. So before I go to another question I sent you, give me a brief description, one of you, about your organization, and then we'll go from there.
Arkansas Employment Career Center is an organization to help develop individuality. It started 5 years ago as a way of helping individuals that have things on their record, may have been going through a divorce, you may have been terminated on the job, and you realize that there's something missing, but we don't have the universities, we don't have the career centers to help that individual develop to the fullest potential.
Yeah.
And that's what Arkansas Employment Career Center is all about.
So offering second chances, right?
Correct.
Offering fresh starts, helping you to identify, right? Who you are, right? So you're not just like an employment agency or something, that you are offering individuals a chance for them to discover who they are as well.
Absolutely.
That's big.
Absolutely.
Because some of us don't even know who we are. And then if I had babies early, like I'm always real about my story. I had my first son when I was 19, right? I was not finished with college, and I didn't know what my next was. Fortunately, I had a mother who was kind of guiding me, right? And wouldn't let me say this was the end of my story. But for people who don't have someone else to be involved, then we really need organizations like yours to tap into us and say, hey, this isn't your final destination. There's more in you, and come to us and let us help discover you, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. So, how important do you think it is, Rod, for you guys to offer what you offer in the workforce right now? And you can tell them what certifications they can get through you guys.
Of course. So we offer 3 main courses. We offer other things, but our 3 main are CNA, pharmacy tech, and medical assistant. So those are 3 main. And from what we have been doing the last couple of years, I think is very important because we're giving opportunity to people who are not allowed these chances in whether private or public sector.
Okay.
So with us owning our own business, we're giving opportunity for individuals to come and earn certificates and be able to gain employment. So I think that's really big. I really do.
And so they come to you and they can go through, choose a track. Can they do all 3 tracks?
Yes. I mean, they can do all 3, but at a certain time limit. So you have a time frame that you are allowed to complete a course.
And the three areas of certification that you just mentioned, I think are so vital right now, right? Mm-hmm. Because we came out of a pandemic and a medical crisis, right? If I didn't know who I was or where I was or had an inkling that I wanted to do something in medicine, then tapping into one of these are like, how many hours is a program? Like what, 900 hours? So you got
well, the CNA program is, we ask that I like the slogan that you said, you give us 90 hours and we will change your life.
Yeah.
It is 90 hours. And we have individuals that actually are traveling CNAs, and they're making $22 to $30 an hour. And I never knew that CNAs could travel.
Come on.
And then, of course, the medical assistant program, that's a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. It is 14 weeks.
Okay.
The pharmacy technician, which right now is a very, very good area to look at. It's only 8 weeks.
Okay.
And we have a contract with Walgreens, and we help individuals when they finish school. Yeah. They're there waiting for you at graduation.
Yeah.
So we're very unique.
So I just want to chime in on that. So a part of what I do is making sure that once the students come through the class and the course, is make sure that they have the opportunity to seek and find employment afterwards. Mm-hmm. So that's my job, is to get in the community, build relations with different people in the community, such as Walgreens, Arkansas Heart Hospital, the Blossoms, Poplar Grove Nursing Home. So just different places that they can be able to start their career opportunities at.
So that's good. So even if you're connected and you're watching this today, or you know someone that can benefit from CNAs, that can benefit from pharmacy techs or medical assistants, this is a perfect organization to contact for you to become sort of a pipeline, right? To become a business partner with them in the community, to be able to make a difference for the people that you may be connected to or that you may need. Unfortunately, right now, and I think that's part of what we're seeing as they're starting to talk about a recession, is people are not getting back in the labor force, right? And we need people to get back in the labor force. I needed to pick up a prescription at my Walgreens, and unfortunately, my particular store is only open till 6 o'clock Monday through Thursday, 7 o'clock on Fridays. I had never seen this before. Remember, you could just get into the pharmacy and be there late. Well, they can't. And the reason that they can't is not because prescriptions are not available. They don't have the workforce.
Correct.
Like, they don't have the workforce. And I was like, what do you mean you don't have the workforce? They were like, we're trying. They were in there that day trying to do 900 prescriptions. And they were like, we got a couple hundred done. Well, they didn't have the workforces. And since they didn't have the workforce available, they've had to modify their pharmacy hours. They've had to change access. And I think that we're seeing there everywhere. So you guys are offering an opportunity for something different to be done. And I appreciate that. So what would you say to someone who thinks their current situation, like say they did get in trouble, how would you encourage them that their life hasn't ended at the end of their trouble?
Pretty much, I think that's kind of what I'm an example of, I like to say, I do have a felony on my record as well, but I mean, we've started a business now, giving back, and I think my best advice to them would be keep going.
That's good.
You know what I mean? Is that just because you make a mistake, it doesn't mean that you cannot, turn around and learn from that and be able to adapt, back in the environment to be able just to change, you know what I mean? So,
Yes.
It's not something, I definitely broadcast, but it's something that I definitely want to minister to people more on. And it's just being able to, trust yourself and trust the people around you and survive.
That's good. Yeah, that's so.
But most of all, I want to say to those individuals that the background that I have with working for the Department of Corrections in the HR department, being a probation officer myself earlier in my career, I realized early on that there are legal ways of dealing with what's on your record.
That's good.
Whether we're talking about, a lot of people don't know about expungement, getting the record sealed, but there are still jobs and areas that you can actually have a job or a career. But if you don't know that, no one is telling you that. And that's the whole reason why Arkansas Employment Career Center was birthed, to give individuals an opportunity that don't have the resources, that don't have the time, or don't have the talent to think of doing the research on their own. We provide that holistic approach to give individuals an opportunity that don't know, don't have those resources. For instance, I want to speak to individuals that business skills. Many of us, even high school students, are graduating and do not have the computer skills, even to know how to take an email and attach a document and send that. We understand that there are basics that individuals don't, and that's what we give you and have time to teach at Arkansas Employment Career Center.
You guys also do resume building,
Correct.
which I think is a skill set that people lack these days.
Because you know how to sell yourself. Resume.
People don't know how to sell themselves
Right.
these
Or
days.
sometimes they embellish too much. So when they go,
Which will get you in trouble, right?
Yes, it will.
Okay, lying on your resume gonna
Right.
catch up to you, right?
Because when you get that employment based on your resume, and they ask you to, again, I go back to knowing how to create a spreadsheet. We don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So we offer the basic computer skills in Microsoft Office to where individuals can learn.
That's good.
Or if you're in a position where you want to get a promotion,
Yeah.
guess what? It's a different set of skill set.
Yeah.
It's going to be required
Yeah.
for that position to be a supervisor.
Yeah. Versus you not having the skill set. And I think for me, we are so limited, even though this is a more tech society, what I've seen people is they don't have the skill sets of Microsoft Word, because we do everything with this. Boom, 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 boom.
Cannot write a letter.
No.
We write in texting is different from actually writing
an
email, and it's just basic what we're seeing. And this is all across.
Yes.
We're talking from 18-year-olds to 60-year-olds.
Yeah.
Do not know how to word and how to do things properly.
Yeah. Basic skills. I remember when I taught at the university, I used to have to tell my students, when you send me a message, this is not like a text to your friends. This is an email to your professor, right?
Yes.
And so when you send an email to your professor, it needs to sound different than a text to your friends, right? This needs to sound different for a text to your friends. So tell me, how can someone get plugged into your program? How do we get in? How do we recommend our daughters? How do we find you? How do we get attached?
So we're located downtown at 300 South Spring, Suite 300. Our website is arecc.org. Phone number is 501-615-8922. And I just encourage any and everybody, to just come out and come down and see what we have available. You know what I mean?
And how do they pay for this? How can you get this paid?
Well, here's the good thing. We have various financing to where, depending on what your socioeconomic status is,
Yep.
we have sponsors.
Okay.
We have scholarships available.
Okay.
And we also have a sliding fee scale. So
Okay.
we will work with you regardless of what your economic status is, because our goal is to be able to employ, to give you the skill set where you can do better. You know, I think one of the greatest accomplishments we've had to occur is when we had a mom and daughter in our CNA class, and they're actually working together now. We've had our aunt and niece that's in the same class. So Arkansas Employment Career Center is, our motto is to change lives, but
Yeah.
generational changes.
Yeah, and that's big, because if I can break or implement a generational change, then I can change poverty, I can change
Absolutely.
hopelessness. It's so much more to breaking a generational change. And when you went back and were like, I know CNA's making this, I definitely have a friend, Titus, who is traveling all over everywhere right now,
Absolutely.
making a killing, paid his mama car off, been able to buy him 2 cars cash, right? So there's a reward for making this adjustment, and there's a reward that's seen for making this change. We are almost out of time. I'm telling you, it goes so fast. But Carla, I want to tap into you for just a second about your bravery of starting this organization. You lose your husband.
Yeah.
And what made you not shut down? Like, what made you just not be like, forget this, right? Like, and just kind of shut down? What made you pour into somebody else?
Well, you know, when I lost my husband, it was a sudden thing. And I would like to say that the career choice that I had at that time, I was the first Black female director, and have been the first Black female director of the Arkansas for state employees of the Arkansas National Guard.
Mm-hmm.
That was not a good area for me.
Okay.
And I decided that what I wanted to do is have more control over giving back to others. And in that environment, that is not what they stood for.
Okay.
And I will say that today, even though we just hired our first brigadier general,
Mm-hmm.
It's at that time, it was not what they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to do what God wanted me to do,
Mm-hmm.
give people an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've done, is
Yeah.
give people an opportunity and do what God wanted me to do.
Yeah. But you did that in pain. Like, what were you saying to yourself? Because I've been there, right? I know what that feels like. What were you saying to yourself to keep you moving forward?
I think Rod was a catalyst in that.
Okay.
But I refuse to this day, I refuse to allow Satan to steal my joy.
Yeah.
Refuse. It's
Yeah.
the inner strength
That's good.
that we have to have when the going gets rough. You have to get tough.
Yeah.
And that's what I've decided. I refuse to allow anyone to define who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I will not have it.
That's good.
Because I know God. I know what He's done in my life.
Yep.
And continue to do.
Yep.
You cannot allow man to define who
That's
you
good.
are.
That's good.
Period.
Yeah.
No matter what you're going through out there.
Yeah.
If it's financial, if it's a relationship,
Yeah.
if it's all your friends and family have left you, guess what?
That's
God is
good.
there. But you have to listen.
Yeah. One of our persons, Masa, said this ministry is so well-rounded, that what you guys are doing is so
Thank
well-rounded. She blessed God for you, and that you know, like this, you're just so, we're seeing y'all so well-rounded, what we're doing so well-rounded. I'm so glad you guys are here. Leave our people with something encouraging, just to get them to, I don't know, whatever you feel like you want to share before we get out of here, whatever's on your heart.
I would like to, yes.
So it is something that I would love to. So 2 things. First thing is that not a lot of people know that you can come through our program and get a certificate if you are on SNAP, which is EBT, it's food stamps, that DHS will cover the cost of the class for you. So I think not a lot of people know that. But something that I would just like to leave is that sitting next to 2 amazing women.
You see her.
I mean? Yeah, of course. But is keep living. I think that's something that I strive by. Keep living, and motto that I go by is, I take each day, day by day, blessed to see, another day.
Yeah.
And that's just, what I'm saying, living each day, back to, to fulfill my purpose, as you like to say. So,
Yeah.
But definitely be thankful. I think a lot of times as people, we're not thankful for what we truly have because we're always looking for more.
Yes.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
just being thankful though, I think that's something big for me.
So hold on, wait, because I'm big right now. One of my key things in life is living in the present and being fully present, right? And Rod just said something that just struck a chord, and I have to come back and repeat it because I want to put emphasis on what you said. We're always looking for more, right? And sometimes when we're always looking for more, we'll become so discontent with where we are right now, when in fact we're really blessed.
Absolutely.
Right? When in fact, we've seen God's hand. Like one of the things I've been doing for myself at the end of the day, if I don't get to accomplish all my goals, what I say to myself is, ooh, you had a successful day.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense? Like if I got 3 or 4 things done, it's like, ooh, you had a successful day, versus me saying, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do this. No, you had a successful day. So thank you for bringing that up. What were you going to say, Carla?
I was going to say that I want people to know that I started this agency at my kitchen table with an idea from God.
Come on.
With a credit card.
Come on.
So I didn't have any financing. Woo. For years, I didn't have any finances. I didn't pay myself.
Okay.
So we're just,
and I know what that's like.
So I don't want, I want people to understand that when you are committed to serving other people, God will open those doors for you, and you won't even know. He will pour out of the blessings. I started this with a credit card that I maxed out. Woo! To give to others, individuals that was coming out of prison that did not have any hope.
Yeah.
Any hope.
Yeah. And those sacrifices and those seeds we do in the early beginning, we may not see them at first, but 100% know they're coming back, right? And any of us who have started anything, if you really start, you're not going to start with the big numbers. You're going to start with what you can, but the passion or whatever burns so big in you, right?
Correct.
That you can't let it die, right? There's nothing I've done that I'm really serious about that it can die, because I'll lay in my bed and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to be over this. And then I'm like, get your butt up. When God called me to do a devotional at 5 a.m. in the morning, right? And having to be at bed at 3:30 a.m., I was like, why are you requiring me of this, right? But it wasn't for me. It was for everybody else that I needed to serve. We are out of time. Can I tell you, you guys have both blessed me today. Can I tell you how powerful your story is and how impacting? And I'm just so grateful because we have people who will come on here later and they're going to watch this, and we'll put it on the podcast stations and we'll leave it up on the YouTube channel. And I want y'all to make sure y'all sharing this, because this is a young company owner. This is he ain't even mid-30 yet, right? He's like started in his 20s, late 20s, early 30s, COO, right? I'm trying to say it right because I'll mess it up. COO of his own organization, his mom, CEO of an organization. And these are people in our community making a difference, changing life. Masa, you're absolutely right. Contentment will equal fulfillment.
Thank you.
And it will. And I'll tell anybody anytime, it will equal fulfillment. And if you focus on fulfillment versus focusing on anything else, God will change the lives of others through you. So if you got a big idea, start it. Carla told you she was at the table with a credit card and an idea and a vision, and say, you know what? Thank you, Michelle, for sharing. I'm getting ready to do this, and I'm not going to do anything less. And I'm grateful. And every person y'all have graduated, I attended a graduation a couple of weeks ago. Every person y'all have graduated is a seed.
To God be the glory.
Yeah, that's deep. Every person y'all have graduated is a seed. So your legacy of what you created will spread through every person you have graduated. Every student that comes across your, for the generations, when you go be with the Lord, when Rod has little rods running the organization, little baby rods, right? When Rod's like, whatever. When Rod has little baby rods, or Ricky has little baby Rickies, right? Like I'm just saying, running the organization, this will continue to be spread out throughout the generations, making impact here in Arkansas. And I'm just believing that what you guys designed will even have a worldwide impact, and you guys will become a model and a resource to others who can make the difference in their state or their nation. Make sure you guys get over to the website, find out what they're doing, arecc.org, correct? You can get connected with them there. They are, you guys are 501c3?
We are.
You can make a donation. Say you feel it on your heart and God pulls on you and be like, you know what, I want to plant something in. You can plant something into their nonprofit organization to help further them. You can give there as well. You can become connected. Share this with your mothers, your daughters, your uncles, your brothers. Maybe you have somebody in your life that does not want to do a traditional road to education, but they need a skill set that will take them somewhere. I think this is proper to introduce them to. Sometimes we want everybody to do things how we do it, right?
Yeah.
And both of you guys are degreed, but sometimes we want people to do it like we do it. And their approach and their route may be something completely different. Rod, Carla, thank you for filling, I always say, our cup today. Thank you for being here with us. I'm definitely going to still part to this because I want to talk more about your story, but I wanted to give, thanks Shayla for sharing. I wanted to give an introduction to your organization, who you are. Remember, we don't have Cup next week, but the week after that, we'll be back again with another special guest. Thank you guys for chiming in today. If you came in late, we love you. Do me a favor, go be loved today. And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Love, peace, and blessings. All right.
Thank you.